Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Quasi-contracts. A valid contract must contain certain essential elements such as offer and acceptance, capacity to contract, consideration, and free consent. But sometimes the law implies a promise imposing obligations on one party and conferring right in favor of the other, even when there is no offer, no acceptance, no genuine consent, lawful consideration, etc. And in fact, neither agreement nor promise. And in fact, neither agreement nor promise. Such cases are not counted in the strict sense, but the court recognizes them as relations resembling those of contracts and enforces them as if they were contracts. Hence, the term quasi-contracts that is resembling a contract, even in the absence of a contract, certain social relationships give rise to certain specific obligations to be performed by certain persons. These are known as quasi-contracts as they create same obligations as in the case of regular contract. Quasi-contracts are based on principles of equity, justice, and good conscience. A quasi or constructive contract rests upon the maxims no man must grow rich out of another person's loss. Example T. A tradesman leaves good at C's house by mistake. C trades the goods as his own. C is bound to pay for the goods. Example A pays some money to B by mistake. It is really due to C. B must refund the money to A. Example A fruit parcel is delivered under a mistake to R who who consumes the fruits thinking them as birthday present. R must return the parcel or pay for the fruits. Although there is no agreement between R and the true owner, yet he is bound to pay as the law regards it a quasi-contract. These relations are called as quasi-contractual obligations. In India, it is also called as certain relation resembling those created by contracts. Silent features of quasi-contracts. In the first place, such a right is always a right to money and generally tough, not always to a liquidated sum of money. Secondly, it does not arise from any agreement of the parties concerned but is imposed by the law. And thirdly, it is a right which is available not against all the world but against a particular person or persons only, so that in this respect it resembles a contractual right. Case Cases deemed as quasi contracts. Claims for necessaries supplied section 68. Payment by an interested person section 69. Obligation of a person enjoying benefit of non gratuitous act section 70. Responsibility of finder of lost goods section 71. money paid by mistake or under coercion. Section 72. Under the provision of the Indian Contract Act, the relationship of quasi-contract is deemed to have come to exist in five different circumstances, which we shall presently dilate upon. But but it may be noted that in none of these cases there comes into existence any contract between the parties in the real sense, due to peculiar circumstances in which they are placed. The law imposes in each of these cases the contractual liability. Claim for necessaries supplied to person incapable of contracting. Section 68. If a person incapable of entering into a contract, or anyone is whom he is legally bound to support, is supplied by another person with necessaries suited to his condition in life, the person who has furnished such supplies is entitled to be reimbursed from the property of such incapable person. Example: A supplies B, a lunatic or a minor, with necessaries suitable to his condition in life. A is entitled to be reimbursed from B's property. To establish his claim, the supplier must prove not only that the goods were supplied to the person who was minor or a lunatic, but also that they were suitable to his actual requirements at the time of the sale and delivery. Payment by an interested person. Section 69. A person who is interested in the payment of money which another is bound by law to pay, and who therefore pays it, is entitled to be reimbursed by the other. Example: B holds land in Bengal on a lease granted by A, the zamindar. The revenue payable by A to the government being in arrear, his land is advertised for sale by the government under the revenue law. The consequences of the sale will be the annulment of B's lease. B. To prevent the sale and the consequent annulment of his own lease, pays to the government the sum due from A. A is bound to make good to B the amount so paid. C. Obligation of person enjoying benefits of Non-Gratuitous Act. Section 70. In terms of Section 70 of the Act, where a person lawfully does anything for another person or delivers anything to him not intending to do so gratuitously, and such other person enjoys the benefit thereof, the latter is bound to pay compensation to the former in respect of, or to restore the thing so done or delivered. It does follows that for a suit to succeed, the plaintiff must prove that he had done the act or had delivered the thing lawfully, that he did not did not do so gratuitously and that the other person enjoyed the benefit. The above can be illustrated by a case law where a government servant was compulsorily sorely retired by the government. He filed a writ petition and obtained an injunction against the order. He was reinstated and was paid salary but was given no work, and in the meantime government appeal the bent on appeal. The appeal was decided in favor of the government, and K was directed to return the salary paid to him during the period of during the period of reinstatement. reinstatement श्याम लाल वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ यूपी AIR 1968-130। Example: A tradesman leave goods at B's house by mistake. B trades the goods as his own. He is bound to pay A for them. Responsibility of finder of goods. Section 71. A person who finds goods belonging to another and takes them into his custody is subject to same responsibility as if he were a bailee. Thus, a finder of lost goods has to take proper care of the property as men of ordinary prudence would take. No right to appropriate the goods to restore uh, and to restore the goods if the owner is found. The in Hollins versus Hollers LR and HL, H picked up a diamond on the floor of F's shop and handed over the same to F to keep till the owner was found. In spite of the best efforts, the true owner could not be tracked. After the lapse of some weeks, H H tendered to F the lawful expenses incurred by him and requested to return the diamond to him. F refused to do so. F refused to do so. Held F must return the diamond to H. Held F must return the diamond to H, as he was entitled to retain the goods found against everybody except the true owner. The true owner. Example: P, a customer in D's shop, puts down a brooch worn on her coat and forgets to pick it up, and one of D's assistants finds it and puts it in a drawer. Over the weekend on Monday, it was discovered to be missing. D was held to be liable in the absence of ordinary care which a prudent man would have taken. D was held to be liable in the absence of ordinary care which a prudent man would have taken. Money paid by mistake or under coercion. Section 72. A person to whom money has been paid or anything delivered by mistake or under coercion must repay or return it. Every kind of payment of money or delivery of goods for every type of mistake is recoverable. शिव प्रसाद वर्सेस श्रीश चंद्रा AIR 1949 PC 279 279 297. Example: a payment of municipal tax made under mistaken belief or because of misunderstanding of the terms of lease can be recovered from municipal authorities. The above law was affirmed by Supreme Court in cases of sales tax officer versus कन्हैयालाल AIR 1959 SC 835. Similarly, any money paid by coercion is also recoverable. The word coercion is not necessarily governed by Section 15 of the Act. The word is interpreted to mean and include opposition, extortion, or such other means. Seth Khanjelak versus National Bank of India. In a case where T was traveling without a ticket in a tram car, and on checking he was asked to pay 5 rupees as penalty to compound transaction. T filed a suit against the corporation for recovery on the ground that it was ex- extorted 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 that it was extorted from him. The suit was decreed in his favor. Trikamdas versus Bombay Municipal Corporation AIR 1954. In all the above cases, the contractual liability arose without any agreement between the parties. In all the above cases, the contractual liability arose without any agreement between the parties. Different between quasi-contracts and contracts. Basis of different quasi-contract contracts essential for the valid contract. The essentials for the formation of a valid contract are absent. The essentials for the formation of a valid contract are present. Obligation imposed by law, created by the consent of the parties. Summary: contingent contracts are the contracts which are conditional on some future event happening or not happening, and are enforceable when the future event or loss occurs. Section 31. Quasi-contracts. Under certain special circumstances, the law creates and enforces legal rights and obligations. Although the parties have never entered into a contract, types of quasi-contracts: claims for necessities supplied to a person incompetent to contract but up to property of incompetent, reimbursement to a person paying money due by another in the payment of which he is interested, obligation of a person enjoying benefits of non-gratuitous without any cost acts. Non-gratuitous acts. Responsibility of a finder of lost goods. His responsibility is same as that of a bailee. Liability of a person to whom money is paid or goods delivered under mistake or cure. Liability of a person to whom money is paid or goods delivered under liability of a person to whom money is paid or goods delivered under mistake or coercion. Descriptive questions explain the term quasi-contracts and state their characteristics. Characteristics. Quasi-contracts under certain special circumstances. Under certain special circumstances, obligation resembling those created by a contract are imposed by the law. By law, although the parties have never entered into a contract, such obligations imposed by law are referred to as quasi-contracts. Such a contract resembles with a contract so far as result or effect is concerned, but it has little or no affinity with a contract in respect of mode of creation. These contracts are based on the doctrine that a person shall not be allowed to enrich himself unjustly at the expense of another. The silent features of a quasi contract are: it does not arise from any agreement of the parties concerned, but is imposed by law. Duty and not promise is the basis of such contract. The right under it is always a right to money and generally tough, not always to a liquidated sum of money. Such a right is available against a specific person or persons and not against the whole world. A suit for its breach may be filed in the same way as in case of a complete contract. A suit for its breach may be filed in the same way as in case of a complete contract. X, a minor, was studying in M.Com in a college on 1st July 2021. He took a loan of 1 lakh from B for payment of his college fees and to purchase books and agreed to repay by 31 December 2021. X possesses assets worth 9 lakh rupees. On due date, X fails to pay back the loan to B. B now wants to recover the loan from X out of his X's assets. Referring to the provisions of the Indian Contract Terms, decide whether B would succeed. Yes, B can proceed against the assets of X according to section 68 of the Indian Contractors Act. If a person incapable of entering into a contract or anyone whom he is legally bound to support is supplied by another person with necessaries suited to his condition in life, the person who has furnished such supplies is entitled to be reimbursed from the property of such incapable person. Since the loan given to X is for the necessaries suited to the conditions in life of the minor, his assets can be suited to reimburse B. Since the loan given to X is for the necessaries suited to the conditions in life of the minor, his assets can be suited to reimburse B. Reimburse B. P left his carriage on D's premises. Landlord of D seized of P left his carriage on D's premises. Landlord of D seized the carriage against the rent due from D. P paid the rent and got his carriage released. Can P recover the amount from D? Yes, P can recover the amount from D. Section 69 states a person who is interested in the payment of money which another person is bound by law to pay, and who therefore pays it, is entitled to get it reimbursed by the other. In the present case, D was lawfully bound to pay rent. P was interested in making the payment to D's landlords as his carriage was seized by him. Hence, being an interested party, P made the payment and can recover the same from D. Rahul found a smartwatch in a restaurant. He inquired about all customers present there, but the true owner could not be found. He handed over the same to the manager of the restaurant to keep till the true owner is found. After a week, he went back to the restaurant to inquire about the smartwatch. The manager refused to return it to Rahul, saying that it did not belong to Rahul. In the light to the Indian Contract Act 1872, can Rahul recover it from the manager? Responsibility of finder of goods. Section 71 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. A person who finds goods belonging to another and takes them into his custody is subject to same responsibility as if he were a bailee. Thus, a finder of lost goods has to take proper care of the property as men of ordinary prudence would take. No right to appropriate the goods and to restore the goods if the owner is found. In the light of the above provisions, the manager must return the smartwatch to Rahul, since Rahul is entitled to retain the smartwatch found against everybody except the true owner. Om Namah Bhagavate Vastu.